Hey there, let's talk about sugar. Well, I'm going to start with my own personal experience, and that is I grew up in a household where sugar was basically demonized. My mom was very health conscious and did not allow my sister and I any sugar, really. Fruits were okay, but anything that we could get in the grocery stores, anything that all the other kids in school had, we were not allowed to have. And this, of course, led to a bad relationship with food and especially sugar, at least for me personally. This followed me my entire life up until now. Um, and it looks like, well, I have for the longest time, even knowing the terrible, terrible, terrible side effects of sugar and what it can actually do to your body, it has had such a grip on me, and that really does something to you, to your psyche, because you're constantly at war with what you know to be right, and these cravings and these urges and this desire for sweetness, for wholeness, for that quick bit of something that makes you feel good. And I think I'm right when I say that I'm not the only one. And I'm pretty sure that this is something that quite a few people deal with. And, well, it's difficult. And I realized with time that my mom was right, that she knew the dangers of sugar, she knew the reality of it. She had suffered herself from it, and she didn't want her kids, her developing children, her babies, to get a hold of that sugar, to be gripped by it. But, I mean, we're human. She did what she could. And whatever adverse effect came of it wasn't really foreseeable. She did her best, and what came of it was only natural, I suppose. I was inspired to make this video today because I made an exception while I was grocery shopping. I have for the last couple of days, well, also with my Ben and Jerry's, been thinking about like a piece of cheesecake, a mandarin cheesecake. That's something that's been like in my head. I'm like, oh, you know what? That would be delicious. That would be so cool. And as it so happened, I stopped by a bakery in the grocery store, looked, and what did they have? Exactly that cheesecake, but even better. It was like a streusel cheesecake, like crumb cake. Looked fantastic. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it. And when I did, I mean, I ate lunch. It was pretty filling. And then I'm like, well, I mean, I still have that piece of cake. I want that piece of cake. I'm gonna eat it now. And when I did, it didn't taste good. I mean, sorry to that bakery, but it just didn't taste good. But I kept eating. I didn't throw it away. I looked at this piece of cake. I'm like, I don't want to eat this. This doesn't taste good. I could throw it away. But there's not much left to it, so. And I ate it. I ate all of it, and you know what? I didn't like it. I didn't even like the way I felt afterwards. I felt like I did it again. I did it again. Like, why did I go and buy something sweet when I told myself that knowing what I know, I don't want this? Well, because it looked nice and it's been in my mind, and because it could have been delicious, it could have been fantastic. But either way, even if it were yummy, it would have been the same thing. And so, I want to kick it. I want to curb it. I want to be done with it. I don't like feeling like this. I love the way I feel when I feel healthy and happy. And you know what? I love fruits. I would take fruits over sweets any day. Almost any day. Well, see, when you abstain from sugar, like industrial sugar, and you just don't eat it for a while, you don't need it. And then if you eat fruits, oh my God. Okay, just your food in general tastes so much better. Like whatever it is, it tastes so much better. You just need to get through like the first 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't need that crap anymore. That doesn't taste good to me. Because I've had it plenty of times. See, I've made these changes over my lifetime quite a few times, yeah? And I have had times where I was really good and I didn't need sugar. I didn't want it. I am so, and it's probably in summer. Yeah, I don't really like much sweets in summer because you know what comes in summer? Fruits. My favorite fruits, the best of them. I could just gorge watermelon all freaking day. And mangoes and strawberries. Oh, just that's and then when I abstain from the industrial sugar, and then I like try like one of these looks to be amazing chocolate bars, something I've had tons of times. I bite into it, I'm like, huh, whoa, it's just, it doesn't taste like chocolate. It doesn't taste like the most amazing thing. It just tastes sweet and fatty, like oils. That's all. There's like no flavor. All I taste is the sugar and what, and then I realized what is it that actually keeps me going back to these things? It's the smell, it's the consistency, and it's the look. And the rest, it's just sweet. And I can honestly say I've experienced the other side where I just don't need it, and I want to get back to that. I want to get back to it, and I want to feel good about not needing it. Yeah. And I've also noticed that when I do eat a large amount of sugar or sugar in general, that the next day, the day of, and the following day, I end up in a really low mood. My dopamine drops completely. And when it gets to that point, you want to feel good again. And the easiest and quickest way to do that is to go for sugar. It having a grip on me over and over and over, each and every single time that I swore to myself that I would quit, that I would have some kind of control over it, that I could actually say no to sugar on a consistent basis and actually, well, cut it out. That's something that I've had as a goal for a long time. And well, I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't mean cut it out forever and just don't indulge every now and then. I'm talking about the kind of temptation that you just don't say no to against your better judgment. Because that really hurts. Feeling like you can't control, feeling like you're just on the days where you just have no energy, on the days where you're just basically exhausted and something happened and you're just feeling really down. All you really want to do is just something sweet, and that can lift you up. And that's honestly, I think it's perfectly fine. It's just when the consumption goes into overconsumption, binge eating is a problem that I struggled with over the years. It wasn't just eating a couple of cookies or a chocolate bar. No, it was eating a whole package of cookies, a whole chocolate bar, a whole Ben & Jerry's ice cream thing, and eclairs, and something salty, so some chips in there, and literally anything else I desired all at once. Because I figured, tonight's the last time, never gonna do this again. I'm not gonna touch sugar. I know how bad this is for me. I really don't like it. I don't feel good when I eat sugar. This is the last time. I cannot count how many times I've said that before in my life. And it just makes you feel powerless. And that's terrifying, honestly. Because I have learned over the last couple of years what sugar actually is. It's a drug. It's a drug, and it's terrifying to me that it's so present in our lives. It's literally everywhere, and it's even marketed to kids. You've probably seen, or if you haven't, I'm going to post it anyways. You've probably seen a video of a baby getting like a little spoonful of ice cream for the first time. And immediately it just lunges after that spoon. And if you don't have the information, you're like, oh, that's cute. Oh, sweet. I love ice cream too. But when I learned that sugar is 8 times as addictive as cocaine, that made a whole lot of sense to me. That baby probably for the very first time tried sugar, and immediately it was a switch. I need that now.
Legally, let go. Let go. Let go.
That's something that just it just gets supported every single time you eat something sweet. And in my lifetime, I've had so many sweets where I'm just gonna say it like this. I'm extremely grateful for my health. I'm grateful to my body for taking such good care of me. Because let's just say our body is a miracle, and it does an incredible job of taking care of us. But it's up to us to take care of it as well. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to make sure that I finally kick it. I don't really even want sugar anymore. I'm talking about the processed sugars. I'm talking about sweets and bakeries. I'm talking about those Ben and Jerry's. Sorry, I just gotta say, it's just so good. It's been my crutch since teenage. I went from a point in my life where I had to hide sweets in like a little drawer next to my bed. I'd have to hide eating sugar from my mom. I'd have to then eventually having autonomy over that, and then just eating here and carrying that shame with me, and hiding sweets when someone came in, and all the way to now knowing that what it actually is and why I feel that way, and that I don't actually have to be bound to it. I have quit sugar plenty of times, and I've done a really good job of, well, let's just say leveling it out, where I would every now and then just indulge in something, and then for a while wouldn't need it. But I notice that I keep on going back, right? Even though I know how bad it is, even though sugar is terrible for your skin, it makes you age, it's terrible for your brain. It's known as, or at least it's called, the third stage, third diabetes. Alzheimer's is usually because or a follow-up of diabetes. That's terrifying. And it's entirely preventable. And I'm going to make sure that I take care of me, my mind, my brain. This is all we have. This is all we are. And if you are no longer you, what are you? And that's something I'm never going to face. I'm going to stay neat my entire life. I'm going to stay healthy. I'm going to make sure I do that. And I want to make sure that I do it sustainably, and it's going to take kind of a cold turkey stop. That means just stop it. And well, easier said than done, but I've decided to do a certain detox. I'm following a certain plan that I trust. It's going to take a little bit of planning on my own beforehand. I don't really want to go stumble into it and just, well, like I usually do, just see what happens, fuck around and find out. I'm going to make sure that I actually have a plan on what I'm going to eat. I'm going to have a plan on what to fall back on if I do need something sweet. And I'm going to make sure that I make this switch sustainable. And I'm actually very confident in this plan, in this detox plan. It starts with 2 loading days. That's what they call it. It's basically to get your body prepared for the following 6 weeks of this diet detox. And honestly, it's the part I'm most excited about. It's where you have 2 whole days to just eat junk, sweets, fatty stuff, oily, fried stuff, whatever you want, literally. And I'm gonna say, that's been going through my mind for the couple of days. I'm so excited. I want my Ben and Jerry's. I have repeated this like probably like 3rd time. It's been on my mind for a while. And well, as soon as I do that, I'm gonna indulge. And then it's followed by 21 days of basically cutting out sugar, cutting out carbohydrates, and cutting out oils and fats. And well, it's only temporary. 21 days is what it takes the body to get accustomed to a new habit. So it's very decisively 21 days. And then the following 21 days after that, so another period of habit forming, you basically get to reintegrate your healthy fats, your healthy carbs, and so on, and then just slowly work back into normal eating habits. And I believe this is going to be the best way for me to do like a little reset and then consciously choose what I re-implement into my diet. And I mean, 6 weeks, no sugar, like no industrial sugar. I think that's gonna really do it. I really do. And if at some point in my life I do go back to sugar, that's just how it is. I'm just gonna focus on right now. And I'm excited. I'm really excited because this is something that has been following me, accompanying me for, ages. And it's time to change for good, as whatever that means, right? I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do it. And the cool thing is, like, the people that have done this detox, they also lose like a whole bunch of weight, and that's cool too. It's just not my main focus. I mean, it's gonna be like a nice side effect, but my main focus is just to get back on track, or on the healthiest track nutritionally as I possibly can, and do my body good. Like, considering all that I've done with my body, like the last several years, what I've ingested, it's time that I give myself some love. I've also seen in my work many people who are like 40 and older, who have basically gotten stuck in their own ways of living, the way they eat, the way they work, the way they move, and they come to me with really bad problems. And I remember one of my group, one of the people in my groups, she said to me, for 40 years, I exercised, I worked, and I just put my body through so much, and it was fine. I was never sick, not once. But as soon as I stopped, that's when my body broke down. Your body keeps the count. Your body keeps the count. It'll keep you running for as long as you are running, but as soon as you stop or slow down, that's when it shows its face. That's what it shows you, what you have done to it. And I'm going to show myself, when I get to that age, how much love and attention and care I have put into me. Because the body counts as well. Yeah. It's not just the negative stuff. It's not just the stuff you do to you. It's the stuff you do for you. And you know what? It's going to be incredible. Because your body is so thankful when you do good for it. Whether it's movement, it's nutrition, whether it's taking time for you and resting, whether it's being creative, your body amplifies. It multiplies everything you give it. And if you give it really wonderful things, it's going to give you the world. And so I'm taking care of me for me. Come join me. Watch me.